What's going on, guys? Larry here. Hope you all are having a great day today. Hope you all woke up with enthusiasm and a zest for life today as we continue to accomplish the goals that we have for this week. And today, doing something a little bit different. I'm doing a Q&A. I've been wanting to do these for a while just to give my thoughts, my perspective on any type of fitness related questions, any pop culture questions, anything, because I've been known to be an opinionated person and I have no problem sharing it. So I just wanted to do this, and I'm finally glad to be able to do it right now. But before I go on, please click like, subscribe. I'm trying to get my content up. I know it's been a while, so please forgive me, but I'm doing my best because I bootstrapped this thing myself, and I don't want to keep making excuses, but please, if you do subscribe, if you do like, please be patient with me as I'm doing a lot of this myself. So today's Q&A is really going to be, I didn't get any pop culture questions, any video game questions, so I'm just really going to be focusing on bodybuilding, fitness, and I had a couple of questions asked to me, so this is not going to be a super long drawn out video. The first question comes from Andrew, and he asks, what type of weightlifting regimen to not only build muscle and size but definition for getting cut, getting in condition, what have you? Do you lift heavy or do you go slightly lighter weight with more sets? I am a fan of training as heavy as you possibly can in a rep range that is comfortable for you, provided your training age. So we'll take somebody that may be 25. They have a training age that they've been in the gym for like 3 years. So they can get away with heavy weights within the 6 to 15 to 30 rep range. And you know, as long as you pay attention to the diet, as long as you pay attention to the cardio, you will get into condition. When you're talking about getting cut, you're talking about a couple of different things at the same time. You're talking about operating within a caloric deficit, and then where a lot of people make the mistake is that they try to take and match the training with the restrictions on the diet by going lighter weight, higher reps. I am of the thought process that you need to keep the weight heavy so you keep that thickness, that density inside the muscle. So even if you aren't a competitive bodybuilder, you still have that myogenic tone. Like when people say, I would just want to tone up, you want your muscle at the point where it looks ready to go all the time, and that's the tone that people are talking about. Combine that heavyweight training along with a diet that operates inside of a deficit, that's going to give you the best result, to give you the best look that you're trying to portray, whether you're going to be on stage, whether you're just walking down the street. That's what you want to do as far as training goes. You want to keep the weights heavy as possible, and you want to operate in the rep range that's comfortable for you, preferably in the double-digit range. So if you don't hit double digits all the time, that's fine, no problem. But strive to keep that weight heavy and strive to hit those rep ranges that you want and need to hit. Next question comes from Kenny. How much protein should one consume when pursuing hypertrophy? Is it 1 gram per pound of body weight or 1 gram per pound of lean weight? Lean weight. Lean weight. And the reason why I say lean weight is because you're not overstressing your system with, you know, sometimes up to 20 to 75 grams, depending upon what your body fat is, of extra protein, right? Like, extra protein is not going to hurt you, but at the same time, are you wasting food and are you putting excess digestion on your stomach? So if you are 250 and you have 210 pounds of lean body mass, then you need to eat either 210, or if you want to go up a little bit, if you're really in hard training, 1.5 grams. I know a popular bodybuilding coach that I follow by the name of Milo Sarcev says, hey, you can take in 2 grams of protein per pound body weight. I think that's only for unique and elite, genetically gifted professional bodybuilders. So I wouldn't necessarily take that type of advice, but about 1.5 grams per pound of lean body weight is what I would use as far as a gauge for how much protein to take in during the day. Make no mistake, that's still a lot of food, but also at the same time, you're not putting excess stress on your digestive system, because it takes a lot of work to digest any type of animal protein down. So you want to make sure that you're eating to the level that you're at and the level that you're trying to get to. As you get leaner, as you build more muscle and drop the fat, inevitably, and gain more muscle, inevitably the more food you're going to need anyway. So that's just something to keep in mind, is per pound of lean body weight, not per pound of total body weight, in my opinion, for hypertrophy. So that was a good question. Thank you. The next question, a couple of them come from Justin, and he wasn't super clear in what he was asking. I guess he wants me to touch on proper rest and recovery, ice baths versus cryotherapy, and proper technique and muscle memory. So I'm going to address proper rest and recovery. It depends. It is very individualistic that it's very hard for me to point out what a person should do. However, some recommendations that I do have to have proper rest and recovery is A, take your ass to bed and try to get at least 6 hours of uninterrupted sleep. If you get 7 to 8, that's absolutely wonderful, but in 2024, I don't know who's really getting that. Excuse me, as I talk about proper rest and recovery. Ice baths versus cryotherapy. The studies that are out now don't necessarily advocate for one over the other or advocate for either at all. However, if you feel that these do help your training, these help your body heal, these are something that's good overall in your training paradigm, then who am I to tell you to take it out? I'm just a guy that lifts weights. I'm not going to tell you to take something out that absolutely helps you. So in regards to ice baths, I know they're very popular right now. I mean, hell, Stone Cold Steve Austin just did a video with him going into an ice bath and how he called up another WWE superstar and said the person told him that, hey, this is a great addition to your training. I think this will help out your recovery, yada yada yada. But the science says another thing. Who are you gonna go with? This is what I say. I say try it out, ice baths and cryotherapy. And if you feel great, if you feel like it helps you overall, then don't let me or anybody else tell you that you shouldn't do it. Let 2024 be the year that you don't have to ask permission to do anything in this shit, right? Try it out. If it works, great. If it doesn't, get rid of it. However, I will tell you, and this speaks to a larger issue, recovery modalities are to be cycled. Let me say that again. Recovery modalities are to be cycled in and out. So if you have a few weeks at cryotherapy, then you need to switch it to an ice bath. If you have a few weeks at an ice bath, you can go back to cryotherapy, but then I recommend to get away from the cold and get some deep tissue massage. Get some dry needling. Get anything that can help you relax, recover, anything like that. Get rid of the deep tissue massage, maybe go inside the sauna for a little bit, post-workout. Anything that can help you recover needs to be cycled in and out, because you can get used to those numerous recovery modalities that may be at your feet. Shout out to Buddy Morris of the NFL's Arizona Cardinals. He's a strength coach, Hall of Fame strength coach, for bringing that to my attention inside of a seminar by Elite FTS a few years ago. So props to him for that. I really do appreciate that. And proper technique and muscle memory. I mean, technique runs the gamut. I know there's a lot of material out that says, well, this technique is good. This is the technique that you should use all the time. Well, I got Branch Warren and John Meadows, rest in peace, who use very different styles of technique, but yet have built a tremendous amount of muscle. So their suggested technique, and you know, the suggested technique is the stuff that you probably see Renaissance periodization doing. You know, Nick Shaw, Dr. Mike Irzitel, those guys over there. But does it help you? I think it's designed to help everybody, but you also have to understand that, again, proper technique runs a massive gamut, and what's good technique for you and what you feel in your muscles is absolutely different from what I feel, which is absolutely different from what another person feels. So please keep that in mind as well. Muscle memory. I mean, that's just a thing that is what it is. You know, your body doesn't forget hard training. And when you get back into hard training after a certain amount of time off, whether it be months, weeks, years, your body will pick it up like a sponge, just like that. But the key thing is that you have to know that you're training hard. So that's something that you have to always keep in mind. If I'm training like a pansy ass, I'm not going to get the same result when I pick back up the weights. It's going to take me some while to get used to it. But if I'm like grinding and it takes a long time for me to get deconditioned, it takes a long time for me to lose my muscle to look like a dad bod, then that is when muscle memory is going to kick in the most, because your body is craving, is literally starving for that hard training. So muscle memory is what muscle memory is. You know, that is nothing really fancy to it. Like, your body will snap back. It will absolutely snap back. So thank you, Justin, for contributing. The next question is from Alex Brown. He liked to touch on workouts for busy people, nutrition, and cardio versus resistance training. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is workouts for busy people. Again, busy runs the gamut. If we're talking gym workouts where you need to be in the gym 45 minutes to maybe an hour, I recommend you go the low volume, high intensity route. Caveat, this is very difficult to sustain over a period of time. Deloads are going to have to be brought in, but yes, this is still a very good training modality. If you're not familiar with that type of training session, those type of trainings, you should probably look at Dorian Yates' style of stuff, Jordan Peters and James Hollingshead style of training. It's very intense, it's very hard, but it's something that I feel that can help those workouts with busy people. Limiting the volume and just making the intensity go sky high is a good way for you all to get muscle, not be in the gym in a long time. And if you have that OCD attitude where you just have to focus in on one thing, then high intensity training is definitely for you, because there's enough variety in there to keep you focused, but also enough difficulty in there for you to have to stay engaged for the next set, so you'll be able to perform it. Now, that is the workouts for busy people. If you want to do some bodyweight stuff, a book that I recommend as well is Jailhouse Strong by Josh Bryant. Is some really good bodyweight stuff in there, so you should probably look that up. And it probably won't take too much time if you adhere to the rest intervals inside of there. Now, nutrition. He didn't say what he was looking for as far as nutrition, so I'm going to take this as a shot in the dark and just tell you 1 gram to 1.5 grams per pound body weight, veggies, some carbs, and then you go from there. Add in some protein shakes, multivitamins, some creatine. I think you'll be okay. We're not even going to touch on intra-workout nutrition, but if you are working out very intensely, I would recommend that you drink some type of amino acid powder, essential amino acid powder, in between your meals, and then just go from there. And cardio versus resistance training. Look, resistance training is king. It has been proven 9 times out of 10 that to look fit, to look good, to feel good, is that you will need weights, you will need resistance training. You need an equal mix of both to get to your best self. Let me say that again. You need an equal amount of both to get to your best self. And the reason I say that is that as an older bodybuilder, from what I've been hearing on various podcasts with a lot of former trainers, former bodybuilders, I have to get my cardio up to be able to take those heavy weight sessions. Like, you just have to. And that's something that I've been actively trying to work on. It's something I will continue to work on. But that also addresses heart health. You know, am I pumping that blood in and out of my heart? You know, is it going to help me with when I have to chase my son around? Things like that. So they work together. They work together, and I think we should get rid of the verses and put a plus sign. So that's just something that I've thought of pretty recently, you know. Thank you for asking that. And I got another question as well. Conversations about lifting over 40 and about time management with lifting, family, and work. So I'm going to address the time management first. The first thing about time management is that you have to make the time, especially when you're 40, especially when you have a family. Here, mornings are for me. I don't like to share them. I don't like to stay in. I don't like to miss workouts. Once that alarm clock goes off at 3:15, 3:30, 4 o'clock, what have you, I'm up. I'm up. I said multiple ones, but I try to be up physically out of the bed after that first one goes off. You don't have to be like me, but you have to have that attitude, is that I have to make time. Because once I get to work, once I get off work, and once the kids go to bed, it's all the family after my workout. Because let's just take an average day. Let's take an average day. Average day, alarm clock will wake me up at 4 o'clock. Okay, well, I'm still tired. I'll stay in the bed till 4:15. 4:15, I get up, wash, do tahajjud, which is not an obligatory prayer. I do that. Then I try to be out the door around about 4:30. Sometimes it doesn't work. I'm out the door by 4:50. So I have to hurry up, get to my location, train, hour and a half, 2 hours, and then go from there as far as getting the kid ready for school, which if I'm done by 6 o'clock, we have to be out the door by around about 8 so I can get my son to school on time. And then I have to come back. I may squeeze in a half hour of nap. I may squeeze in an hour. I don't know. Depends on if I have food ready or not. But then I have to go to work and be there by either 9:30 or 10 o'clock. I'm there all day producing a news show, because it takes 8 hours to produce a half-hour news show, if you didn't know. I'm putting that together, and it just is, once I leave, then my time is not my time anymore. From 10 o'clock on, my time is done. I get 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours in the morning, and I sacrifice for it. That's the difference in your 40s versus your 20s, and that your time, when you have a family, when you have a career, your time outside of the time that you make does not belong to you. So you need to raise up, get ready, and do the things you need to do to be successful, because again, your time is limited and it does not belong to you. And let me tell you something, that absolutely will help you in the long run. Mentally, it'll help you. But I want you guys to understand, 35 plus, 40 plus ain't no joke. And things will pull at you from various places. You have to be able to block out time, whether you got to get up early, you have to block out time for you, because if you don't, you will have that time taken away from you, and then you become mad, you become resentful, start blaming people. We got to get away from that. I got to get away from that, and I'm very bad with it. I'm very bad with it. But guys, girls, please make time for yourself in anything that you want to do. Please do that. That is something that I'm begging you from the bottom of my heart to do. Find you a hobby. Dedicate a couple of hours to it every day or every couple of days. That time is yours. All right. So that's how I feel about, making time management with lifting, family, and work. You set aside the time, whether you got to wake up early or go to bed late, you set aside that time, and that time is yours. It is yours. I'm going to say it again. It is yours. Don't waste it. And conversations about lifting over 40. Okay, so this is something that I'm very, very, very passionate about. And I'm just going to say it plain. Please excuse the language. Stop listening to these fucking influencers that are under the age of 35. And 35 is kind of my line of demarcation, because that's when my body started to slowly change. I was still strong, and I was probably my strongest in my middle to late 30s. I was very strong in that age range. But things started to slowly decline, right? And I have a pretty decent durability factor. I've never torn anything, inshallah. I don't, alhamdulillah for that. But also, I have a lot of nicks and pains. I have pain in my shoulder. I have an old knee injury that kind of manifests itself if I push in a bad direction when it comes to legs. So I try to keep my form rigid and try to work on things that are guided when it comes to legs. You have to understand your limitations. Training age is a very big deal, and when people suggest things, they stay in their silo, which is why I only like following 20-something-year-old, 30-something-year-old fitness influencers, just to see, I live vicariously through them. They're going to islands, they're having vacations, they're training pain-free. Meanwhile, the first words out of my mouth when I wake up in the morning and my feet hit the floor are, fuck, is because I'm waking up stiff. It's Minnesota, it's a long winter, so like they're great to look at, but stop taking advice from them, because a lot of them don't know. Even a lot of good trainers that I follow, no names. I've asked a couple of times, what suggestions do you have for a master's bodybuilder? What suggestions do you have for a master's bodybuilder? They don't fucking have it, because they don't know, and they've never. It's fun training young people. It's fun training those who are still on the upswing. When you're on the downswing and you're just trying to get some momentum, you're trying to keep on swimming, nobody wants to deal with that. The fitness industry is tailored to the young. It is tailored to those that will spend tons of money on bullshit products, bullshit apps, bullshit supplements, bullshit gyms, and bullshit clothes. So that's where the majority of marketing is going to go to. I go to Walmart for my workout pants. I have a bunch of t-shirts. I haven't bought a new t-shirt in months to train in. I just haven't. I don't have that discretionary income or anything like that right now, And when I do get that discretionary income, I put it back into the house. Or, I put it into the gas tank or something like that. So a lot of the conversations around about lifting in your 40s is about knowing your limitations and knowing that a lot of the stuff that's out there isn't catered to you. So you have to understand that the stuff that you consume, you need to rework it for it to fit you. You're not going to be able to hit 10 with 315 on the close grip incline press and you're 45. Like, even on drugs, that's like not going to happen. It is not going to happen. If you are, you're an outlier. So please know that a lot of the fitness content isn't for you. You have to find ways to train around pain or train with pain. That may be reverse banding your squats, like I said a couple of days ago. That may mean you wearing knee sleeves, elbow sleeves, no knee wraps for squats. That's pussy. and just wearing training aids that'll help you with longevity, right? That may mean training at a reduced volume. That may mean eliminating a day out of your training routine so you can recover. Stop listening to these people that don't have skin in the game. I may be a shitty bodybuilder. I may not have won a title, but the last thing that I'm going to do is I am not going to bullshit you. A lot of this stuff out here don't apply to you. Old man, old woman. It don't. And there's a lot of people out here that won't take you on because they don't have the knowledge base to train anybody that's not a peer or just outside of their peer group. They don't have that knowledge base. They don't have the wherewithal to do it. And that's not wrong. That's not bad. It's just they don't know or they don't care. And that's fine too. So one of the things that you guys need to be aware of if you're over 40 is that your recovery system is going to take a nosedive every year until the day you die, right? How can you mitigate that? Find out ways. Maybe extra days off from the gym. It may be training total body instead of one body part a day. It may be going on TRT. That's a discussion that you need to have with your doctor and your significant other. Is that a step that you're ready to take? You know, you will have, when you are over 42, I don't give a fuck about this full range of motion shit that's going on right now. I don't. You will have to operate in a range of motion that's comfortable for you, where you don't blow anything out. Full range can help if you go lighter, but you know, there has to be an interesting factor when it comes to training. There has to be a fun factor when it comes to training. So you're not going to be working through a full range of motion all the time. You're going to be working through the range of motion that's going to provide the most stimulus along with the most comfort. All right, so please understand that as well. Over 40 lifting ain't no joke. And I think I spent so much time on this because I empathize with a lot of guys now, being that I am over 40. And I'm just trying to keep this train moving. I'm trying to compete. That's not working, of course. You know, I'm trying to compete, but I'm more than anything, I'm just trying to stay inside of the gym. And, you know, it's harder than what it looks, but you keep fighting a good fight. I think those that are 40 plus right now, we're from that last bit of the analog generation. You know, we didn't have a lot of microwaves coming up, so we're a little bit more patient as long as we keep our mentals in check. We're a little bit more patient than a lot of people coming up these days. So what I encourage you guys to do if you're over 40 is, 1, stay on the iron. 2, continue to work and refine your approach. 3, keep your family close because, again, you know, you're afforded the opportunity to do this. You got to keep them at the helm. And then 4, the time that you allot is the time that you allot to your passion of bodybuilding, fitness, what have you. Do not sacrifice that time for anything. If you have to go to bed late, if you have to wake up early, I don't really care. Find a way to do it. Find a way to dedicate time to it and execute it at the highest level you can. All right? So, know I was long-winded. This is probably one of the longest videos I've ever done answering questions, but I'm very happy that hopefully I have been able to help you. If I wasn't able to help you, please let me know. Let me know how I can help you. And again, I'm not talking just in bodybuilding. You know, I got a lot of miles on me, life, this, that, and the other. So please let me know. Tekken 8 coming out this week. Not sure if I'll get it. Probably won't. But it is coming out this week, and if you haven't noticed the thing behind me, I am a gamer, and if I do get it, I would love to dive into it. I'm going to learn how to Twitch stream, and we could talk Twitch and bodybuilding and video games all on a Twitch stream. So maybe one day I'll do that once I get this YouTube thing down, but until then, I'm just straight up on YouTube, and I'm having fun with you guys, and teaching you guys or anybody else that's willing to listen. So there we go. Again, like and subscribe to the channel. I truly appreciate you guys listening to me ramble on, and hopefully I provided some value to you. Old guys and girls, stand up. We in this fight together, and hopefully you all got something from it. So until then, y'all take care. Have a great day. Be blessed and stay well.